It's 3/4 of a ton of mild steel, soldered together with some 2,000 welds. It's taken 10 years and some 100 different drafts to get it right, and it might just do for your golf what it's already doing for the man who invented it. Well, that man is Dennis Durnian, and he calls his weird and wonderful contraption a swing frame. Not unreasonably, really, since that's exactly what it is. It rotates you through the optimum angles, it grooves you onto the perfect plane, and it keeps your club bang on the straight and narrow. The secret? Endless repetition and muscle memory.
Everything in life is muscle memory. You know, from when we're born, right, we learn to stand up and then we don't think about it after that. We learn to walk, then we don't think about walking. You know, the best description, the golf swing I talk to people about is like driving the car, right? At first, when the instructor is trying to explain to you how to drive a car, he's throwing 1,000 different things at you and your first reaction is, I'm never going to get this. But after a while, each one slots into the equation. Now you drive your car, you don't even think. You could have been going along for an hour and you think, Christ, I didn't remember where I've been for the last hour. You know, that's muscle memory, working on automatic. And the good players, when they get under pressure, everything works on automatic. And that's what they bank on.
Well, if the name sounds familiar, it should do. Back in the 80s, he was highly successful on the European Tour. In fact, in 1989, he was third on the Order of Merit and was measured up for his Ryder Cup jacket. Well, at that point, though, he completely and utterly lost his swing. He missed 10 straight cuts, and within 9 months, he had given up the game completely. He couldn't break 80 for love nor money.
I tried and tried to get out of the bad movements that I had developed, right, and I couldn't get out of them.
Did they actually get worse?
Oh, yes.
The more you tried to make them better, did it get worse?
Without question. Golf is a stupid game. Everything works the wrong way around, right? Your brain, if you're slicing the golf ball, right, to stop slicing it, your brain says, well, hit it to the left-hand side. The more you try and hit it to the left, the more it goes right. And your brain can't figure that one out. It's the only sport in the world that it can't figure out. It's the spin. Your brain doesn't know anything about spin that's been involved, right? And it can't figure it out. And this is why when people get into a bad rut, they just go worse. And I want to prove and be the only person that's ever gone backwards and going to come back out of it again. You can't tell me one person that's gone and come back again. You know, because once they've lost it, they can't get it back.
Well, it was 8 years ago that he had the big idea for the swing frame, starting in a Manchester attic with a 20-foot piece of curtain rail. He went through umpteen redrafts, he spent hours watching videos, plotting the optimum swing. He even lost his marriage along the way. But finally, 10 years on, he's back with his swing, he's back on the seniors tour, and he is winning money and competing once again.
I must have re-welded the first frame maybe 100 times, you know, in different position. You know, I mean, one night I'd be grinding it off and then, you know, bend it a little bit with the bending bar, then re-weld it back.
Just trial and error, really.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that was the only way to go forward, right? Because it was angles that I never even appreciated that actually came into it. You know, to get the club into the right angle at the right time in the right place. You know, very difficult. Good, but as I say to so many golfers, right, outside we talk about the club, the direction it's moving here, which is the fundamental, it's the most important. Right. But in here we don't even talk about that. Because it's been created.
Well, the frames were never designed as a teaching aid, but that is what they have now become. And the evidence seems to suggest that they really can work wonders. Your signature. You've done it so many times, it's automatic. I had one man that was in, when I was up in Stockport, and he was a 12 handicapper, right? And he worked all winter, right, at the game, and the following year, right, he just had an average season, right. He kept his 12 handicap and this, that, and the other. Right. The year after, okay, right, he won the club championship off 12, and he won 6 of 7 board competitions that year, and he dropped his handicap to 2. Right now, the thing is, this gentleman put the work in. See, that's the key, isn't it?
But it's
anything. You've got to put the hours in.
You know, it's like there is nothing for nothing. Is if you are 15 stone in weight, right, and you want to get down to a nice trim 12 stone, right, there is no magic cures. You know, you've got to go to the gym, and you've got to go to the gym 3 times a week for a year maybe. Now, this is no different.
Well, the swing frames have been adopted by the European Golf and Leisure Club. They're based in Harlow in Essex, an indoor facility with more gadgets and gizmos than you could feasibly shake a 7-iron at. Peter Hudson's the guy who's now all set to market the invention, now that the patents and the paperwork are all sorted out. Hopefully, they can sell it worldwide, and hopefully, with even more refinements.
This is the plot. Now we want to keep that turning into there. No, we don't stop. We improve and we improve. The more that we get used, the more we ask the customers for feedback, and the more we get out there, the more we'll be responding to that feedback, making it a piece of equipment that's easier to use, that people feel more comfortable with. Maybe we'll get to personal headsets with music. Maybe we'll have videotapes running in front of them of somebody swinging really, really well. It just goes on and on.
They've talked to me about, you know, having one of these centres in every city in the world. You know, now, yes, it would be wonderful, but it won't change what I'm doing. You know, hopefully, if I can keep myself fit enough for the next 15 years, I'm playing golf. It doesn't matter whether these are all over the place. I'll still be doing what I want to do.
So if somebody said to you, you could make $250 million a year out of these things, or you can be #1 on the European Seniors Tour.
No question.
Next year. What would you say?
No question. I mean, it's like you. If you get David Beckham, you know, okay, who's the best player in England at the moment, okay, take him to 45, 50, and say to him, right, you can have the buzz back. Right, but you've got to pay us. He'll pay you, you know, just to get in that position again. You know, the thrill. And he doesn't realise he's got it at the moment, you know, because it's that God-given right. But it's when you lose it, then you know how much you want it.
Well, all Dennis Durnian needs to really sharpen up on now is his short game, and his decade in the wilderness will finally be over. He would rather finish top of the Seniors Order of Merit than pocket a hypothetical $250 million for his invention. Heavens above, truly golf really is one nutty game.